So we're going to swap this motor out for the Sotion motor down here. As you can see, we've already taken off the bash guard at these 2 points here. We've taken off the phase wires, and in a minute we're going to unplug the hall sensors. There's no need to take the controller off for all this, but we're actually upgrading this controller as well, so we're going to do that. So this is where we are at this point. Now to get this out on this side, we're going to take off the belt cover. There's 2 screws in here. One's down here, one up here. We're going to undo the tensioning bolt and take it out. I'm going to take out the front bolt. When we take the bolt out and everything, we're going to lift the motor up, release the pressure around the belt and slide the belt off. See now, we've undone the bolts and the tensioning bolt. When you take it off, remember not to lose the spaces that go on this side. And we've also taken off the belt cover. I personally, I'm not a fan of these covers because I believe that when mud gets in here, it gets trapped around the belt, stones, and it causes them to split easier. However, this bike is a project bike. It'll be used mainly on the road, so I probably will install it. It's also a really good time to decide whether you want to put a DID or a different chain drive on here. Chain drives tend to be noisy. They do stretch a little bit, but they can handle debris they don't break that quick. However, they do need a load of maintenance. We do recommend always that you put at least like a Gates GT4 belt in here. It's much stronger. Because it's used on the road again, and because we won't do in jumps, we're going to stick with a belt. However, if you're the type of guy who goes in the middle of nowhere, you over big jumps, or you get loads of dirt, then think about the chain. On my own personal bike, I ride with a double gated system where I carry a spare already in situ, but I'm probably going back to the chain because it is used for really radical riding. Right, also, as you can see now, the hall sensor's now been undone. It's now loose in the bike, there's nothing holding it in. What I'm going to do now is on the stand, I'm just going to pivot the bike backwards and just pull the motor out. I'm going to struggle doing that on my own and video, so I'll crack on. So the old motor is now out, it's just a case of slotting in the new Sotion motor. You may notice, some of you, that this is not an OEM Sur Ron motor, it's actually a QS165 Gen 2, really good motor. I reckon it's good for about 14 kilowatt. However, this is our project bike, so it's the thing we keep changing things around in. So the motor's almost in, and as you can see, we've got the tensioning bolt in. These tensioning, we just slid the belt back on, really easy, and we put the bolt in here with the spacer. So a little tip, these spacers can be a little bit difficult to get in, so we recommend is do the other side first. You do the other side first, do the opposite to this one up quite tight, that pulls the motor that way, it gives you a bit more space to put the spacer in, otherwise you'll struggle. So what we're going to do now is crimp these up a little bit, spacer it, tension it properly. The belt wants to have virtually no slack in it at all. Tension it all up, we'll make sure that this side, on this side, and the same on the other side are the same distance, because if the belt runs nice and parallel, it stops it fraying. We'll then put the guard back on, we'll reattach the hall sensor, put the phasers on, and put the controller back on. That's almost done. About a half an hour job, 45-minute job. So the motor's all in, it's all mapped, got our battery in it, got a back 8000, we've set it at 600 phase, 16 kilowatt, and it's as sweet as a nut.